Mr. Rajeev Hallur, Managing Director, Xytel, India. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure.
Would you talk about your company, Xytel India, and what are the things that you are doing in India?
Xytel India is in the service of research and development industry in chemical industry in India. We manufacture pilot plants. These are mini working models of big size chemical plants. So we do help the Indian industry to take a laboratory result to ultimate commercial technology development. That's a big part we play in technology development.
And do you focus on verticals like chemical and petrochemical?
The main verticals are oil and gas, pharmaceuticals, fine chemicals, and petrochemicals. These are the fine, and now, of course, the new verticals such as alternate energy, green environment. These are carbon capture, carbon neutrality. These are new areas we are working on.
One problem with respect to Indian chemical companies is with respect to designing capability. Presently, this aspect is neglected, or they go for a multinational approach because there is lack of design engineers in the country which can look at reduce cost and also look at better safety. What's your comment on this, sir?
The biggest thing I think the issue is about lack of patience. You can't circumvent procedures. You can't circumvent steps. For any concept to become commercial, you have to have laboratory trials, you have to have pilot plant trials, you have to have the simulation done to do the main plant. Everybody wants to get to the main plant straight up. That's where most people think that, oh, some multinational has this thing straight away, let me go them, get them straight. You are making a mistake. You're probably learning to go across the shore, but you're not learning to swim. By doing things stepwise, you are learning to swim. So from one technology to another, another to another, another to another, you have developed a kind of capability, and that's more important in my opinion than just doing in a one-step procedure. So rather than um, giving ready-made solutions to your R&D organizations, tell them how to swim, how to go across the whole length using their own might and strength, and they're quite capable. Let me tell you, some of the things that people have done amazes me all the time. It's much better than what is being done outside of India.
It is obviously well recognized that if you plan better, see what are the deficiencies in the pilot plant, and then overcome those over a period of time and build up a large scale plant by removing those deficiencies and moving forward.
Yes.
So, what's your advice to the chemical CEOs who are in a great hurry to plan whether it is a brownfield expansion or a greenfield expansion?
I would say keep your goals and aspirations simple. People want to do, when you want to do pilot plant, keep it as a pilot. Don't suddenly think that I'll produce enough to make a seed marketing thing out of it. Keep the pilot plant as small as possible. Keep it minimum. It's easier to run. And then once you run, you get good results. Based on that, you could build your big plant. Do not cut down on the steps. That would be my advice all the time.
And what's your contribution? What's your company's contribution to Indian chemical industry?
I mean, some of these things I can't even mention because the areas that we work are so, kind of bound by NDAs and secrecies. Some of the things that we could tell you is that the the Indian oil industry, whatever technologies that have been developed of late, and for example, now India doesn't have to import technologies related to FCC or hydrocracking. All have been perfected on Xytel pilot plants.
Are you also working on new technologies like hydrogen or other things? And if yes, what's the way ahead?
Oh yes, there's a lot of things happening on hydrogen, and especially in the area of green hydrogen. That's what everybody has aiming for in the end. And honestly, we did the first fuel cell for Indian industry way back in the year 2013-14. It's that this thing that from there we have been contributing, and we have worked with defense. We have worked with various other oil companies and some green energy companies, and from various sources of be it non-fossil or biomass, we are making a lot of contributions.
And one last question, sir. What's your vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047? And where do you see your company, Xytel, in the overall scheme of things?
Honestly, the last few years that I've seen, there's a paradigm shift in the mindset of the people. That's what I would like to say. That earlier we used to find it difficult to convince people to put up pilot plans. Nowadays, it's the other way around. There is a huge energy among people to do something different, to do something new. This change of mindset to me augurs well for the future of our country. And Zytel, of course, we've the best part of being a Zytel's engineer is that you you always are fresh. You always think out of the box. You always think are doing something new all the time. So I would envision a future for India and for Zytel that we are doing different things at different time, and so exciting it is to be young all the time. So it's always a learning process. It's always a growing process.